My name's Circuit Overload. Just wanted to say hi, everybody. Above and beyond that, I have quite the harrowing tale of something I had to go through, quite recently, and I just got the final word, which is some, in my opinion, some bad news. I understand. I honestly do. I understand their reasoning and their decision behind it, and that it would be absolutely, you know, it'd be really tough on them to be able to do it and stuff, but it's still quite upsetting to me. So I guess probably about the best thing to do is to start the tale off, from the beginning. So I'm an old raider. I'm a vanilla raider. And I stuck around, for quite a while, up through the end of the Wrath of the Lich King, and even above and beyond that and whatnot. You can tell, by my warlock here, Evil Ash. Well, in the process of going through all this, I've accumulated quite a few things, quite a few memories, quite a few items, collectibles, things that, you just can't get anymore. They're just not in the game, period. I mean, there's just no way of doing it. The game has changed so much, and there's so many different things in the game now. And, oh, to make a long story short, I quit, and I've been gone for several years now. Well, after I took my leave, I thought everything was secured. I thought everything was fine. I didn't really think about it whatsoever, and, well, as of late, I found more time on my hands. So I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm going to go ahead and try and get back into WoW, because I remember, the great camaraderie I had. The great, adventures we used to have, me and my friends and new friends. There's so many great people that I met and conversed with on a daily basis. And people from all walks of life, Everything from young punks, who wouldn't, help anybody, turn around, bending over backwards, helping me out for hours on end in game, all the way up to people that really surprised me that played this game. Like, there's this guy. When I first started, he played a character. It was a restoration shaman, and he was Tauren, and his name was Shammy. And I come to find out that he's actually a priest in Australia, and I am proud to say that man is my friend, and I will never forget him. Because he strived, even though we had a whole ton of young punks running around in here, in the guild, spewing garbage out of their mouth, cussing incessantly or whatnot. This is one of the few people that I can actually say, really made me stand up and take notice, because it didn't matter the situation. I never heard him ever utter a curse word or something negative or derogatory. He was always like, I'm sorry to hear that. What do you say we talk about it a little bit? Maybe there's some way we can, fix this or make it a little bit nicer for you. And just hearing somebody like that in here, really changed my thinking. And hence the reason why now, that I had an issue, and even though, let me clarify up front, alright? I am absolutely ecstatic, alright? Blizzard went above and beyond, in my opinion, alright? And I am absolutely ecstatic that I got my accounts back, Because yes, I was hacked. And they got away with an amazing amount, alright? Like I said, I decided to come back to WoW. Now, the biggest shock, that I ever had in my life was logging into my Battle.net account, figuring, what, it's going to take me a while, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot and see if I can figure out, just how to get back into the game, see if I can find myself another good, I don't want to say hardcore raiding guild, but more of a casual guild. So I go ahead and pop my information in, and I log in, and I'm sitting there just utterly flabbergasted, because it just says I only have a starter account. And as I get checking into it, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's like I never used, my Battle.net account for anything. The only thing that was still on my account was my previous payment histories, from years ago. So I go ahead and write a rep ticket, explaining the situation. I'm like, hey, I just logged in, all my stuff's gone. you know. And at first, they came back to me. They're like, "Well, we're sorry to hear that. This is actually quite, disturbing and stuff. Let me ask you a few more questions and stuff." So I described it to them, And the thing that tipped it off was, luckily, this character here, Evil Ash, back in the day, had a little bit of a following behind him because I was one of the, I don't want to say I was world's first, but I was among, the first warlocks to, ever do quite a few things in these games. To go above and beyond, some of the stuff that I did. I was the first Firelock. When everybody was giving me crap about it, I was like, I don't care. I sat there, and I ran, with our secondary and third raiding groups over and over in Molten Core, gathering up every piece of mage plus fire damage gear I possibly could that I could wear as a warlock. And I was able to pull it off. And I became the world's first Firelock. And wouldn't you know it, shortly after that, the very next expansion, all of a sudden, warlocks are getting incinerate. I was like, no way. Well, anyway, so I explained it to him. I was like, look, I'm Evil Ash, And I was like, I play on Meganis, and I explained to him all the rest of the alts that I use also. Like Eviladin and Wrath of the Lich King, I primarily played a paladin named Eviladin. And I explained, that I was just, before I quit, that I was just about done making, Shadow, not Shadow Morn, but Shadow's Edge, the paladin equivalent to Shadow Morn and stuff. And, well, having all this info, they went ahead and tracked it down and found out that my characters were still there. My account was still there. Apparently, there is a gentleman who, I don't know how he does it, all right? And I even asked, the Blizzard employees, the GMs that I was talking to, how is this even possible? Well, they couldn't explain it to me, which is all right. I'm sure they weren't sure either, and they had to figure it out. But apparently somebody called in, said that they were a relative of mine, using the same last name, but obviously different first name, and wanted to merge it. Well, as it turns out, he had multiple accounts all merged into his one Battle.net account, and just had characters, galore, and he was just slowly farming everything off of the characters, taking what he could, selling it off, and everything. And well, it's like I told the GMs, that my biggest concern isn't so much, about the actual items, because as the expansion goes, items will come and go. Same way with the gold. I could care less about the gold. Gold comes and goes. Especially every single time a new expansion comes out, there's millions to be made in gold. It's not a big deal and stuff. I was like, but what does matter to me though is I was like, for one, I was like, I have all that money wrapped up in expansion, so I was like, I really wouldn't want to have to do that again. I was like, I would. I really don't want to. I was like, but the biggest thing though is nostalgia, the memories. I was like, my characters have so many achievements and feats of strength that this can't be done anymore. I was like, I just would like my characters back and whatnot. So they checked into it and found out all that stuff. And and I conversed a few more times with the GMs because they just wanted to make sure. They wanted to verify. They asked me extra things like my address and stuff like that. And send them my license, obviously. And, well, for every piece of correspondence, they wanted a copy of my license, which is fine. But, finally, after a very short bit, actually, after a lot shorter of a time than I thought it would take, I got contacted and said, you know what, you provided us more than enough information, everything checks out. We're going to go ahead and restore your account. I was like, sweet. I was just absolutely flabbergasted. I was ecstatic. Well, man, I'm sorry. Don't mean to be hacking up like that. Well, they said, give it like 10 minutes, and the account will pop back up onto my Battle.net account, and I'll have access to my characters and stuff again. So it's like, all right, that's definitely awesome. I really, really appreciate it. Well, it was already getting kind of late for me, all right? So I just went ahead, and went to bed. And I get up in the morning and everything, and I log in. I didn't actually log into the game, but I'm just saying I logged in, and yep. Yep, sure as poop. There's my account, there's my servers, I see my characters there on the servers and stuff, and, I knew for a fact that my account was, emptied out, right off the bat. I knew I didn't have one penny on my characters. I know that there wasn't one, item on any of them, that whoever did it, just went ahead and just took it for everything they possibly could just to try and squeeze every penny out. Well, when I finally did get a chance, which was later on that day, to actually log in and check out my characters, I'm just absolutely, floored. I'm just ecstatic. I'm sky high. I'm flying all that nifty stuff, and well, not literally flying, but you know what I mean, though. Emotionally wise, it's great having stuff that you work so hard, so many, memories, so much, to finally come back, and have them back. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. And yeah, almost as far as I know, all of my items are back. Because I don't know how. I mean, I'm sure they have a log for freaking everything. But as far as I know, all of my items are back. Yeah, I even had a little bit of gold too, which is something that kind of surprised me. And I open up my bags here, and you can see 690. I didn't do anything on Evil Ash yet. This is what they put in my bags. So I'm pretty happy about that. I really can't complain. Now I got, as far as I know, all my items back. There's a few items I had to toss back on a couple of my characters. That ain't a big deal. It seems like I got, at least some of my gold back, which, that doesn't really matter whatsoever. I'm sure they probably thought that too, and probably just doing a random amount, because I had no idea, how much gold I actually had. One thing though that, was upsetting though, and this is the whole reason why, I was making this video and stuff, and, I understand, the reasoning behind it. And once again, I just want to put it out there that I am ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic, that Blizzard was able to get my account back, alright? That's the big thing in my opinion. That's the absolute big thing. I got my account back. I have my characters back. That's the part that, really, really matters in the end. But, it's just, the one thing that's only slightly perturbing to me, though, is once I realized it, I turned around and I opened up a brand new ticket to the GMs. And, I explained my situation, I explained what happened, that my account was stolen, they had it merged into somebody else's, Battle.net account and everything, and I explained who I was, proved it, everything, and they were able to retrieve my account. I was like, but the biggest and the only, I mean, not the biggest, but the only issue I have, though, is like I said, I've been collecting, from day one of vanilla. Anything that's rare and unusual, I'd sit there for half a day, sometimes a week, just to farm up that one special little item, just so that way I can brag that I have it, And the majority of items like that, though, got turned into toys at some point. And,
citizens of
well,
Dalaran,
now that I am sitting there,
to the skies
oh
and
my
observe.
god. Yeah, of course Ronan decides to start up now. Well,
Today our
I
world's
open it up,
destruction has been
and,
averted in defiance of our very
unfortunately,
neighbors.
everything I collected up, my hundreds of mounts I had,
Herald of the
are
Titans
gone.
has been defeated
They're just straight up
by our brave
gone.
comrades in the depths of the
And,
Titan city of
you see the Headless Horseman's mount here. The only reason why I have that is because I got the Horseman's mount as a drop, alright? And I already had the Headless Horseman's mount. So that dropped item, I gave it to one of my alts. I figured, later on at some point, they might make it so that way I can sell it. But, they didn't. And, well, I didn't give it to one of my alts. I was going to give it to one of my alts to have them sell it. But, I didn't get it on this character. I got it on another character. But, I had it in the bank. I had it stored away. And apparently they must have gave me the item back. So on my alt, I went ahead and used the item just so that way I can have an additional mount. But yeah, like here, the only reason why I even have a Fell Steed and a Dreadsteed is because they're summonable. As far as WoW's concerned, it's a spell that I cast. It's not an actual mount, even though it shows up in the mount section. And all my pets, yeah, just a couple pets you get right off the bat, and that's literally it. And my toys, once again, all I had was just another toy sitting there as an item in there, but yeah, basically none. And heirlooms? Nope, they're all gone too. So I went ahead and turned around and I sent them an email. And I was like, hey, I was like, I am really appreciative, all right? I don't want to sound like I'm ungrateful, but I am really appreciative to have my account back. And like I said, I explained what all I went through, what all transpired, what it took to actually get my account back. And, well, I don't know. They must have been thinking about it for quite a while or whatnot, because I sent them that, I don't know, about 10 in the morning. And, I got an email back, and I got an email back only about, I don't know, it's a couple hours ago. And it was about 7 o'clock, 6:30 or 7 o'clock. And so it's been most of the day. And I know they're busy. I'm not trying to say that they were, being slow or, or whatnot. I was just thinking that probably because it took so long, because the couple other times that I've had to contact them, they've usually been on the ball. It usually only took, an hour or two for them to get back to me. So for it to take literally all day for them to get back to me, it just makes me think maybe they were thinking about what to do or whatnot. But yeah, they sent me a nice email, saying, hey, we're really glad to hear that you were able to get your account, restored and everything. It's, some of these hackers and stuff, when they steal accounts, they do it interestingly, which really makes it difficult for us to be able to track it down and reinstate it and everything. And and it's very disheartening and upsetting to us to hear that you have lost, your mounts. And they're like, well, unfortunately, when they moved your account, into his Battle.net account, it locked all your mounts to his Battle.net, and there's no way to transfer them off. And it's our policy to leave them linked to that account. And I'm just like, how is it your policy? I mean, obviously I tried following up and sending them, a follow-up to it, but, I haven't heard anything yet. And I probably won't, to be honest. And if I do, it won't be until tomorrow. At which point, if I do hear anything more, I'll make a follow-up video. But they went ahead and he basically said that even though this person maliciously acquired your account and merged it into his Battle.net account, that the majority of your collectible items, well, not the majority, but all of your collectible items, everything, all your mounts, every single mount, every single toy, every single heirloom, is all permanently his now, and it's our policy not to change that. And, what are you supposed to, say to that? I mean, there's not really much, you can say to that. Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, it's just going to really make me question, how and why, I play this game anymore. I mean, I'm still going to play it. WoW, WoW is a very, very enjoyable game. And it's primarily for the camaraderie. But I can tell you this, though. I'm not going to spend, hours, days, weeks, even months, working on trying to get that one special prize thing, just for the potential of permanently losing it down the line with absolutely no repercussion or recourse. See, because one of the things I made sure to put in my email, when I first sent it to him, is that I was like, I still have the achievements. I still have the achievements, I still have, everything that shows that I completed it, like, the achievement for actually doing it. Or some of these mounts I got as an achievement reward. So I'm just like, how am I supposed to go forward with that? What am I supposed to do? I was like, since I already completed the achievement, there is no way for me to complete the achievement again. And I was like, and some of these are quest rewards, some of these are extremely, extremely rare drop rewards. And the other part at the very end, is well, he put on there that he's, sorry to hear all that and stuff, but it is their policy not to reinstate, any mounts, any collectibles, toys, heirlooms, or anything, that they have to, it's their policy for the hacker to permanently keep them. And that the only way that I would be able to have those items reinstituted is to go through and do all of that on a different character. And I'm just like, well, why would I do that? I was like, and anyway, and half of them, I can't even do that anymore. I was like, because there's so many that I have acquired that are just not able to, that I have it listed in my achievements as a feat of strength. So there's no way I can go back and do that. Like, I was there at the opening for Encourage. I was like, I can't do that again. I was like, they're not going to reopen the gates. I was like, I don't know, it's very, very, very upsetting to see all of my hard work, just to go to somebody else who stole it, and just to be told that it's their policy for, the hacker to be able to keep it all. That's what it is. He's actually keeping it all. They said specifically in there is that because all of those items are now bound to his Battle.net account, that they cannot remove them. That they are his. So, like I said though, in the end, I'm just happy to have, my account back. I'm just happy to have, access to my old characters again. But it would just be nice, just to have some, but instead, I guess I'm just stuck having to slum it and go old school. Because I remember this here is the mount that I used to ride the Molten Core when it was new. And yes, I'm one of those people who got my Dread Steed the hard way. I went and did the insane long quest line, to get my Dread Steed. And yeah, my guild was more than willing to help out and stuff, which is definitely awesome. But even still, I just thought I'd warn you guys, because it hurts. It really does. I mean, I had several, two-person, mounts in there also, and, well, they're gone. Yeah, if I want, I can probably, save up another 100 grand and, buy another one, but I don't know. It's like, why would I want to do that now? Because, I mean, if I do get another one, I mean, there's a potential it's just going to get stolen again. Can't discount that. I mean, they're perfectly fine with restoring, items, hell, even gold. But when it comes to mounts, pets, heirlooms, toys, collectibles, any of that stuff that's actually truly hard to get, they don't. It's their policy to let whoever stole them keep them. But, well, this is enough ranting. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and hop off, and hopefully this is a little bit of an eye-opener for some of you, but I can tell you what, I'm definitely not going to be spending all that time trying to track down that super rare mount anymore. But, alright guys, till next time. This is Circuit Overload and playing on Evil Ash, and I hope you all have a great evening. Don't forget to hit that follow button, please, and I will talk to you later.